Hello and welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. I hope you're having a beautiful Monday, March 25th. It is Lunar Eclipse Day, friends. I have been waiting to deliver this video for a few weeks, gathering intel. I've actually shot it a couple times, but then uncover a new layer that I want to present to you. So here I am after floating for an hour and a half this morning in a deprivation tank. I think I've gleaned all the different layers and points that I want to share with you. And it is a big story. Eclipse season is big energy. It is considered a portal where our typical life can be upheaved and replaced into more alignment with our path. If we've found ourselves out of alignment, the universe recalibrates in this very intense portal of eclipse season. And the alignment of the moon, the sun, and the earth today in this lunar eclipse is special in that the moon is holding hands with the south node of fate. This is a special point in the ecliptic where the moon and the sun come together. And at this particular junction point is where you find the north and the south node. These points of destiny is what they are known as, are really powerful activation points. They activate the moon, which is our intuitive, feminine nature, but this depth of knowing and feeling. And on a lunar eclipse that is activating the south node, we're working with culminating energies. We're working with letting go if we need to create new room for newness, if that's new ways of relating to someone we are in relationship with, if that is actually letting go of a relationship. And I am saying relationship because this particular lunar eclipse is in the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is all things relationship, friends. It's all things we value, so it does include money. It is creativity. It is the archetype of the feminine. And so here with this lunation, we are looking to Venus. Venus is our host of this particular full moon. And this full moon at 5 degrees in Venus's home of Libra is one that is offering us a recalibrating moment. What is on shaky ground when it comes to our relationships? What makes us feel unsettled? Is there a crack in the foundation? This new, rather full moon is having us look at the cracks, look at what needs to be rebalanced. The symbol of Libra is actually scales. And so Libra is always asking us to find that beautiful center point where we can find everything come into balance and there is no polarity that's pulling us in one direction out of balance. So all of those beautiful themes that I mentioned when it comes to Libra are on the table as far as what is on unshakable and what is on shaky ground. And this next 2 weeks, we are working with the portal opening that really asks us to find that balancing and to ultimately heal. The solar eclipse, which is the 2-week benchmark after today, will bring a culmination of these new moon seeds that are being planted, that were planted on the solar eclipse that happened 6 months prior to this one. So what is beautiful, friends, is we're always working with layers on top of layers on top of layers. And 6 months ago, on October 14th, we had a Libra solar eclipse at 21 degrees. And this is where we planted new moon seeds that are now coming into fruition at this full moon in Libra. And these beautiful energies that are coming into culmination, into fullness, into ripeness, are giving us a platter, if you will, to see from which we need to work towards our next new moon potent eclipse seeds that we will be planting on April 8th with the solar eclipse new moon. And so these bubblings that are coming up, these things that are having us look at our hyper independence versus our codependence and find this balance point, are really asking us to look towards what healing needs to be put into our intentions, into our lives after April 8th. So now till April 8th, pay attention, friends. Themes around unbalanced relationships, unbalanced ways of earning money, unbalanced forms of using your own creativity. These are on the table. And then April 8th comes around and oh my gosh, hello healing. Our new moon solar eclipse has Chiron front and center, holding hands with the moon and the sun at 18 degrees, or rather 19 degrees of Aries. This is asking, or really inviting us into a huge dose of healing, friends. Chiron is the wounded healer, and to have the sun and the moon, this yin and yang energy on Chiron, we are invited into a big new chapter of healing, friends. And it is very much indicative of relationships, of yin and yang. We're going to get into the layers of all the beauty of this yin and yang dance a little bit more later here, but I want to get into a bit of what happened prior to this day of March 25th to lead us into this, what potent astrology has been paving the way for us to work into a huge opportunity to heal. So we had the solar, or rather the equinox happen just a few days prior to this eclipse portal opening. And that happened on March 19th. March 19th, we had equal day, equal night. This balance, right, of light and dark came in just prior to this Libra balancing eclipse portal. How beautiful that the universe is asking us to see this scale in the cosmos with this sacred day of the equinox, the balance. Then, friends, just 2 days after that, we had Saturn and Venus come together in a conjunction in Pisces. This is special because Venus is exalted in Pisces. She can show up as her full self, and even she's treated as royalty here. So this is a place that Venus can really dream and get into all the juiciness of her creativity, and our relationships really can benefit from this. This can be a dreamy, romantic time. But when Saturn comes to visit her, or rather she visited Saturn, Saturn's been there way longer, we have a really interesting energy. Saturn represents this maturity energy. It can be rather testy and constrictive, restrictive, but very much asking us to step into a level of wisdom and maturity that just keeps getting more awesome as we age. It is father time, Chronos. Saturn is wanting us to mature and get better. And so as Venus comes together at Pisces and where she's exalted, we're really offered this opportunity to look at how we've matured in our relationships. Saturn might ask us to end some sort of relationship. Again, we're really being asked to wisen up, to mature. Is this something that Grandpa Saturn would approve of, or is this something that you need to let go of so that you can have space for something better to step into your life? And so that was a big reality check, honestly, on the 21st. And what is beautiful now is that Mars just entered into Pisces. So now the lovers are hanging out together in the same house, in Venus's exalted house. And so that happened on the 22nd, just a few days earlier, and Mars is still hanging out at 1 degree here in Pisces. But the beauty is that he has joined his lover Venus, and that they are working together to find this balance. On the 24th, we had Venus make a sextile to Jupiter. This is setting the scene for this lunar eclipse today, because Jupiter is hanging out in Venus's home of Taurus, and Venus is hanging out in Jupiter's home of Pisces. This is called mutual reception. They can kind of help each other out as they're living in each other's homes. You know, here, this is where you find the, mayonnaise. It's over on this side of the refrigerator. That way you can make your BLT and it's complete, right? It's not like you're like eating something that's not as awesome, you have the help. There's this mutual reception at this lunar eclipse that's really special. Oftentimes people get freaked out about lunar eclipses. The ancients, it went all dark on solar eclipses, and lunar eclipse is when that's very, that ominous red, creepy situation happening. And so ancients really got very freaked out when it came to eclipses, and that energy has carried throughout our civilization. But this one, friends, is a little softer because it is ruled by Venus, who is in mutual reception to Jupiter, who is hosting her in her exalted place. So this is a very special lunar eclipse in that the fact that it's softened by the lover that is Venus, who is always trying to harmonize and bring in balance. Okay, so let's now dive into the actual lunar eclipse today, all the aspects. We've already spoken to Venus sextiling Jupiter. This energy is still carrying on into today. So we want to talk about that because it's pretty special, friends. And we're also going to talk about the Pluto involvement. Pluto made an exact trine, a beautiful trine, a harmonious, supportive energy to where this new moon or full moon culmination point is on the 21st. So it's still in engagement. It's at a 4-degree orb as Pluto is at 1 degree, and but very much here, with that 5-degree lunar eclipse and 1-degree Pluto, they're making a trine, which we're going to talk about because it really does invoke the depths of going there to find that balance that this new moon is asking us to find, our full moon. Wow, sorry, friends. Okay, so we first must set the scene on this day with what's happening in the sky. We have quite a few exciting things happening. Number one, we have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus coming together. They will do so on April 20th. It's a big day in the cosmos, friends. These two come together every 12 years. The last time they came together in Taurus was in 1941. So it's been a long time. Maybe you've never felt this particular energy, but they are in a 5-degree orb as of now. So the engagement range is happening. And this is expansive, paradigm shifting, belief shifting energy, and they are coming together in Venus's home, right? So this is big energy. We also have Eros, the asteroid of sexuality. He is the character of Cupid. Throughout history, these archetypes, they have different names, but the original version of Cupid was Eros. And Eros was responsible to shoot people with arrows to have them fall in love. He was Aphrodite, Venus's son. And his story is that he accidentally shot himself in the foot and fell in love in the process of trying to shoot someone else. Her name was Psyche, with Psyche, which was very against his mother's wishes because Venus did not love Psyche because Psyche was even more beautiful than Venus and she was immortal. So Venus did not love her. And the joke is that Eros fell deeply in love with her. And the story of these two lovers is really potent in the sky because Psyche, the asteroid Psyche, is conjunct Pluto. And as I just said, Pluto is trine this full moon. So Psyche and Eros is conjunct Jupiter. Did I forget to say that? Because that's really big. Jupiter conjunct Eros. Oh my gosh, friends, right? This is huge. And then Psyche conjunct Pluto. These are two big characters in this lunation. So to have them holding hands with these lovers is indicative of a big balancing going down between the yin and the yang in the cosmos. Oh, that's one of my most favorite layers and why I couldn't record or post the videos that I had previously recorded because I just uncovered that a couple days ago. So really, really beautiful nod from the universe that we are working with a potent love story, friends, to go deep into our psyches. Psyche represents our human soul, and Eros is that sexual energy that revitalizes us, that gives us life. And so here we are working to recalibrate and balance this energy. All right, so those two are hanging out. We also have, oh, here we go, friends. Chiron, the wounded healer, and the North Node in Aries are still within a close enough range of engagement. I do believe it's a 3-degree range at this point. This is big energy. This is when our sun just recently on the equinox moved into Aries. So our illuminating light in the cosmos is in the house of Aries, which is opposite from Libra. So this axis of Libra and Aries, the independent warrior, do-go masculine of Aries, and the feminine Libra balance of Libra. So these energies are very much being balanced here in this axis. And what's beautiful is Mercury, our planet of communication, recently entered into Aries on March 9th. As he entered into Aries, Pisces, he left Pisces and entered Aries, and Venus actually entered into Pisces right as Mars left. Mercury left. So there was this changing of the guard in Pisces. But Aries has been an invigorated house and is very much having the light of the sun shining on healing with this conjunction of the North Node, point of destiny, and our lovely Chiron, this huge energy that is being highlighted for this portal, right? It's going to be holding hands with the sun and the moon on April 8th. So Aries, very important, friends, that we are working towards this North Node, this point of destiny, to heal ourselves, to look at the deepest, darkest parts of ourselves, the parts that are holding on for dear life. That's that warrior energy. I don't want to die, but parts of us have to die. And that's what this lunar eclipse is about. Where are we out of alignment when it comes to our hyper independence? And that's what this lunar eclipse is asking of us here over in Libra, opposite that super intense house of Aries. Okay, so let us now look at the actual sextile between Venus and Jupiter. Venus, right, at 17 degrees of Pisces is making that sextile to Jupiter, who's holding hands with Eros. Wow, this is incredible, sexual, flowing, dynamic energy that is working towards finding balance. Anytime we're working with a sextile, it is by the nature of Venus, which her whole desire is to find harmony, friends. So we have this sextile, but we also have, I said it, Jupiter and Uranus are only 5 degrees apart. So we're also having Venus making that sextile to Uranus, this paradigm shifting, revolutionary energy that's asking us to break out of old paradigms. We are being asked to break out of toxic patriarchy and find something that is more balanced, friends. So here we go. Let's now move a little bit deeper into that Pluto magic. Pluto here as making that trine, and Pluto is always wanting us to find intense, deep transformation. This is an aspect with the trine that is advocating for healing, for empowerment at this deep level. So going deep beneath the surface and working into the cellar of our unconscious to find patterns that are keeping us from feeling safe and balanced. Where's the crack in our foundation? We have to be vulnerable to be able to look at this, friends. You have to be able to open up and go there. And it is a power-up move when you can get into that vulnerable space. You're actually weakening yourself when you can't show up vulnerably. So power up, seek the healing, go deep, go into finding what is the crack and how do you fill it with the gold, friends? Well, you do so by having conversations. Yes, we have Mercury, who just entered on the 9th of March into Aries, where we have what I just spoke to, this deep healing going down. So our communicative Mercury has the ability to have some deep conversations right now. And as Pluto is making the trine to this new moon, we are empowered to have the conversations around balancing the yin and the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the dark, the light, the moon, the sun. So going into these deeper layers of healing by having the deep conversations and obtaining a deeper understanding. That's how we move through, friends. This big recalibration is that we actually have to understand each side. Balance and harmony. That is what Libra is asking, equilibrium. And on the South Node, we are asking to be letting go of things. So what is out of alignment in your relationships? Is it a pattern that needs to be taken out? Is it an actual relationship that needs to be left? Is it in your own, the way you earn money? This could be something out of balance, social circles, our friendships, something that does not feel right? This is out of alignment, and it is a reality check. Not only do we have Venus exalted in Pisces hanging out there with, Saturn, which we've spoken to already, reality check Saturn, but we have Neptune here. So this interesting dynamic really in that balance of Saturn, hardcore reality, and Neptune, fantasy and spirituality and illusion and imagination. And so that duality is working to find this balance in this Pisces waters as well. It's just beautiful. Basically, each layer I look, I keep finding these recalibrating, balancing aspects and patterns and movements by the cosmos to check in what's reality, what's non-reality, right? Saturn, Neptune, where do we need an energetic clearing to get us more in alignment with those two things? And, that looks at our individuality and our relationships. Where do we need to make bold, radical changes that promote freedom? That's this sextile Venus to both Jupiter and Uranus. Radical freedom, friends. This is what we've been driving towards for at least a year now, astrologically, is breaking out of old paradigms. And the time is now, friends. With this eclipse, we have this heightened energy, this portal, this supercharged energy that is activating deep transformation at a destiny level, right? Anytime we're working with the nodes of fate, it's destiny, it's fate, friends. And so as our sun, earth, and the moon come into alignment today, what are you looking to let go of? Where do you see culmination and closure and beauty coming into your life? Honor that, have gratitude for it, and then start watching what's coming up in the next 2 weeks that you can plant new seeds, new moon seeds in April 8th to really find a dose of bliss, balanced, healed bliss, friends. We're working towards it. This is big energy guiding us. So I wish you so much love, so much light, and I will see you back in 2 weeks for the solar eclipse. If you are local to northern Colorado, I have a few spots left for tonight's full moon Libra ceremony, where we will open with a little astrological love and then move into some yoga, intention ceremony, and then a sound bath, and then a closing ceremony that will loop our intention ceremony beautifully in. So if that's something you would like to join, please check out my description, the link in the description box to join me. But I am wishing you a potent eclipse season. May it pick you up and put you in a beautiful place that you didn't even know you could get to. All right. Mwah.